Empower your leadership journey with the CEO series. Whether you're at the gym, strolling, or commuting, our impactful dialogues with world-class leaders are just a click away. Immerse yourself in the minds of visionaries shaping today's most influential companies and innovations. It's not just an interview. It's a masterclass in leadership. Don't miss out. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and major streaming platforms.
Good morning, good evening, depending upon what part of the world you're in. If it's Friday, it is the CEO series, where we bring together the most inspiring people to talk through their leadership journey. Our guest today is Nadine Chammas, founder of The Life Director. She's a pioneering social media strategist. Her background spans theater directing, motivational speaking, hypnotherapy, entrepreneurship. She has dedicated her career to transforming lives through her diverse talent and innovative approaches. So with that, I want to welcome Nadine. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for the introduction. And I'm really happy to be here. I can't wait to start discussing and talking about The Life Director. And thank you again.
Thank you for making time to be with us today. So we always like to start our conversation with talking us through your journey, starting from the launch pad to where you are today. You know, I always call it the top of the pyramid. So walk us through the journey to get to that point.
Okay, there are a lot of stages in my life, the same way like I see life as a stage. So many stages happened in my life where I was playing different roles. So I started, definitely, I'm Lebanese. I was born in Lebanon. And I studied theater directing and acting here in Lebanon. And at the same time, I'm a singer. So I started singing at a very early age. So I started when I was 16. And professionally, I became a professional singer at 18. So I sing French and English, Frank Sinatra, all those beautiful oldie songs. And... And the journey took me towards more artistic. So first of all, I wanted to become an architect. I studied mathematics. Having a career in arts was not there. It was just for me a hobby, and I thought that it will be only a hobby. But then the theater took me on a different journey, and it was really enlightening for me and so empowering, and to have those skills to be vulnerable and act in front of people, and it helped me a lot in my singing career as well. So after I graduated from Lebanon, I came to Dubai, and that was in 2000. And you know, back then, going to the Dubai, it was like, where are you going? We will be lost, you know. And I was very young. But it happened that there was a competition for a script for an opening ceremony for the festivals in Dubai in the summer. And I won the competition. So my script won. And they asked me to go to Dubai to produce the show and produce the theater play there in Dubai. And at the same time, I was singing in Lebanon, and the owner has a hotel in Dubai, a Greek hotel, a Greek restaurant. So all the Lebanese people used to go there. So I was like singing there and doing some theater work, and all those few things happened, and then it became a company. So I opened the first company in Dubai for producing theater plays for kids. And then again, I opened a drama therapy concept. I opened a performing arts academy. I opened an edutainment center. So this is my entrepreneurship. And so in each stage, there was something happening with me. And then I love therapy because I studied with acting. We used to do drama therapy and use drama therapy a lot while I'm directing or I'm producing, you know, just to bring the personalities and the characters from the actors. And I watched a talk about neuro-linguistic programming, and I said, okay, this is me. I'm going there. I love therapy and neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis. And so it started there in 2010 when I started taking all those modalities and certifications in personal development, spirituality, energy. And then it was like just a calling for me. I didn't want to become a coach or a motivational speaker, but my journey, my life led me to be like that because I was called to do it. So in 2014 I had cancer, and that was a big thing, like a pause in my life when I had to stop everything in my life and just focus on my health and applying everything that I learned in practice. So I said, if all those theories that I'm learning and I'm enjoying are true, so now I want to see if they work. And I sat for 1 year on my own, like developing exercises, lifestyle for me, taken from everything that I have learned, but in my own language, which is the theater. So after 9 years, I wrote the book. So 9 years it took me to write my book, The Stage is Yours, because I was reflecting and analyzing my life and analyzing everything that happened to me, and while I was not aware, and I discovered that we can be successful in any ways. We are successful all, but if you are not happy, satisfied from the inside, there's something missing. And what was missing was nothing. It was just me realizing that I had to take care of my emotions and acknowledge my pain, acknowledge my grief, and come into terms with them and say, it's okay. It can happen, and it happens to everybody. We are not like super women all the time. I can say that time I can be vulnerable and I can ask for help, because we were raised in Lebanon to be only strong. We don't have the choice. You don't have the choice. There's a lot of things happening. You need to find solution. Walk, fight. So that was the time where I softened a little bit on myself, not on the world. I'm very kind with everyone, just on myself, to say, you know what, Nadine, it's okay now. You can cry. You can say it's okay. You can ask for help. You can just sit and do nothing at all. You don't have to be producing and creating all the time. It's okay to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. There's so many key points you brought up from there.
Yeah.
What intrigued me was drama therapy, because in business, you're trying to convince people a character. You're on stage playing a role. You're in character. And as an entrepreneur, you go through these stages. You say, it's okay to take a day off. But now I got to get back to all of those kind of transitions. So what I gathered from what you were talking about, at each level, you were faced with something, and you were able to kind of step back, coalesce, reflect, and you move to a different stage. What advice would you give someone that's stuck? And they're stuck where they are now, and they're trying to figure out what's the next step. Is it to get a job? Is it to try something where a thirst is there? What advice would you give them?
The advice that I wish someone told me, that it will pass. It will pass. It will not stay at the same. Our situations will not remain the same. We're not stagnant. The situations will change and everything will change, and we can find solution by asking, how can I change it? It has to come from us, instead of asking all the time, why am I stuck? What can I do to unstuck myself? What can I do? And by asking those questions, the subconscious mind, you know how it works. It starts looking for solutions. And then when you are in that state of mind, you start attracting not solutions, it's awareness. You will be aware that, yes, I will find the solution. Maybe not right now, but it will happen. So during my life, I thought when I got kids, like they were very small, I thought that they will be small all the time and my life will be running like this all the time. And now I see my kids, they are 20 and 18. I said, oh, wow, why did I worry too much? It was only a few years from your life. It will pass. It's okay. And I want to tell you something that I wish someone tell me. We are not alone. Many of us are going through the same thing. So we're not alone. So you don't have to say that it's only me, it's happening only to me. It's happening to everyone. And we are all going through challenges in life on a different level. And all what I say is it will pass. It will pass. Just relax. Take a few
You know,
breaths.
I'm laughing when you say that, because lots of times people send me a note and they go through the whole thing, and my response to them is, "Welcome to the club."
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the
Welcome
club,
to the club.
because everyone is a pivotal. I'm going to say everyone. That's a generalized statement, but for the most part, everyone is struggling with something,
Yes.
whether it be careers, whether it be family issues, or whatever it is. So you're saying it will pass. It will pass.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes, in theater, the logo is one sad face and one happy face. And
Mm,
usually people, they only show their happy face only, that they put that mask that everything is okay and nothing is happening with me. And from the other side, they are going through a lot. So it's okay to show your two faces, the sad
mhm.
and the good. That's okay. This is
Yeah.
balance.
hmm
Mhm.
So being a moderator, and I moderate conferences and all those kinds of things. And some days I get up and I've got so many things on my mind, and then I've got to switch. I've got to like switch and turn it on, because now I'm in front of 500 people in an audience, and I've got to do what I've got to do to get paid for what I do. And it's the same thing. And this is what intrigued me when I was looking through, your background, the life director. You're the director of
Yes,
your life.
yes.
The other way of looking, you're the CEO of your life.
Exactly. But with my own language. My background is in theater and acting, and for me, I I healed when I started looking at my life from the director's perspective. So I put myself in the director's chair and I said, all my life I was directing and producing theater plays, and I know the whole story. As a director, I know the vision, I know everything. So if I was directing those stories in my life, what was it all about? Why did I do that? What was the wisdom behind it? For what purpose am I playing this role, or am I accepting another role in different people's stories? If I am the director, there must be a why. So, why is that? Okay. So then when you sit in the director's chair and you start looking at your life as a story, you will
Oh,
realize that sometimes you were not the director, someone else was directing you. And you will realize that sometimes people gave you a role to play without your permission. You just did it because you didn't know anything better, or you were not aware. And some people always directed you not to do what you want, but what they want or what is convenient for their story, not yours. So
mm,
by sitting in that chair and getting all those wisdom, you are able now, okay, what happened, that was just a story. Again, it's just a story, and this is another advice, it's just a
yeah,
story.
yeah.
That's a story. Okay, so if I have all those wisdom and everything that I want, the first thing that I want to do, if I'm directing now my own life, what is it that I want? What's the message? What's my vision? What's the ultimate purpose of me? And then I start writing the script. Not only writing the script, casting for the actors, for the people who will play roles in my story that will help me achieve that vision.
Oh,
So I am the one taking control of everything. Even I will write for them their role. Nothing is random. It's not an improv. Now it's a production. We know exactly what we want to do.
so I have a future guest coming up who started in theater, Peter Piccinini, who's going to be an upcoming guest, and he was the director producer of the Circle Rep Theater in New York City, and he's going to
Yes.
be a future guest. And now he's in wealth management, so totally
Yeah.
different. But I love the concept of the director's chair. As you were going through that, I felt as if I was laying on the couch and you were the therapist, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm the director of all of this. Other people play a role in that. I think that's a phenomenal concept, and this is what really intrigued me when I saw your
Yes.
background and how you basically taken what you've learned and packaged it into where you are today. So my follow-up question to that is what do you think, and looking back at your career, what do you think was the most pivotal moment?
Um, you know, that moment when you feel that you didn't do what you are supposed to do, and you're just doing anything just to fill the time.
Yes.
And that was the time when really I got cancer, and you feel that, okay, now what? Why? Why is this happening to me? It happens only to people, not to me. And then you say, okay, what is important right now? What is it important? Because you feel that life becomes shorter and shorter, and you want to do what what really means to you. And at the same time, your responsibility as a mother or as a parent, and then your friends, what is it that I want to tell them, the thing that I didn't tell anyone, and I'm so wanting them to know exactly who I am.
Mhm.
And this is where all those, unfortunately, we learn like this. Unfortunately, the universe sometimes forces you to sit down and remove everything from you so you can really focus on what is important. And you know that it's flowing when it's flowing. When I shifted and I accepted that it's okay, Nadine, to share your story. It's okay to talk about your challenges. People are getting inspired. Before, I used to think that if I will share with you my stories and my struggle, you will pity me, and I feel that no, I don't want to put my negativity on anyone. But actually, I turned it into a story inspired by my story. And this is the book. In the book, I write, this is my story, but it's inspired by me. It's not really me. It's
Mhm.
inspired, so everyone can relate to it.
Mm.
So it was like analyzing exactly what is happening on a universal level, not only on a personal level.
Wow. That's so impactful. But one of the things I'm picking up in our conversation is reflection, how important reflection is.
Yes.
How important to think back at the end of the day. How was the day? What did I do? What can I do? Or maybe I just move on from that. Talk, give us some insights on the power of reflecting to give me guidance as to how I can move to the next step.
Okay, so I will speak to you also in my language. In theater, you have the audience, yeah. So when you sit in the audience, you're just watching, yeah, and observing. And you want to do the same exercise. You want to sit in the audience and watch your day on stage,
Oh,
and see it from 360 degree, not only what you did in that small frame. And why I always say the theater, not the movies, because the movies, the camera will tell you exactly what you want
yeah,
to see. But in
yeah.
theater, you have the freedom to watch around, turn, and focus on one thing or another, because everything is there, and it's up to you to focus on what you want. But definitely there will be the story, but you have that freedom. So if you sit in that audience and you watch your day, and you say, "Oh, okay, what happened with me today?
Wow.
What was it about? Why?" So now I see the second person also, and me. If I want to repeat that same situation, what can I do better? What is it that I want to say? you know and this is when you start analyzing exactly what is happening to you, and dissociating from the emotions. You're seeing yourself, so you're
Yeah.
not in the game, you're not in the situation, because our emotions sometimes they don't let us analyze well. So you have
Mm.
to sit back and watch. And when you watch, it's just a story. There's the fourth wall, you know, in the theater and the audience, you have a fourth wall, an imaginary wall where no one can cross it. So you're seeing it a little bit far. So you're removing it from you and watching it. And then you start analyzing.
You know what? It's like I'm laying on the couch and you're the therapist and walking through this. We all let me just tag on to that for some comments that are coming in. We have John Self. He says John Self is a very dear friend. He's also a prior guest on the show. He says storytelling is the most important tool in the executive's toolkit. The other key point, Ade, if you can pull this up, he says we need to bottle this for all the thousands and managers in the U.S. who are caught in the white collar reception.
Oh, wow.
All of the insights that you're bringing about is the director's chair. Oh, reflecting on that. So powerful.
So, thank you. So you said therapy. So this is what I developed. I developed a structure, a therapy, the life director method. The life director method, it's a therapy, it's coaching and healing at the same time. Because when you dissociate from your emotion, you're creating that space. You are you are powerful because now you can see and you can assess. So, and when you do that, you can have the wisdom, okay? And then you are healing your emotions at the same time, and you see what do you need, what skills do you need, so you can create the next story where you are not only the director, you're directing yourself, playing the lead role, center stage.
Ooh.
So yeah, so the life director method, I developed it throughout those 9-10 years while I was writing the book. The book was supposed to be out maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but I thought that it's not enough. Every time I read the book, I say, it's still, I'm talking about myself. And no. I want to give people my strategy, and you can apply it on everything that you want. Because people were asking me, what did you do? How did you overcome this? How you can accept everything? I told them I applied a strategy that I understand, which is from me as an actress. So I always tell them, you know, when I was a professional actress, because at some stage in my life, I was just acting or I singing. And when I have my script, it's well written. If I'm playing a role, it's well defined. I do it 100%. In life, in real life, we don't have that written script and we don't have that defined role and the character. So I always say you can play 1,000 roles in life, and you have to play many roles. We are all, but keep the same character. Your character should not change. So your character will not change. You can play 100 roles. So learning the skills in the life director method, I teach the skills of a professional actor. Actors are in time. Actors are in the moment. Actors are flexible, vulnerable, sensitive. They want to, they can apply anything on them. I have, let's say if I'm playing a role of a musician and I don't know how to play, I go and I learn fast how to play, at least for the scene. So if you can adopt those skills that that a real actor has, then you will apply them in your real life and define who you are, who you truly are. And then you bring who you are in whatever you do then. Yeah. So this stage is yours. Do whatever you want to do, but be you.
The stage is yours. I love that. So I want to go back to your background and getting to where you are today. What would you say was the greatest source of inspiration through your career? Who inspired you?
Who inspired me? I got inspired from many people, but the most inspiration was an advice from my mother. Okay, so everything that I do in my life, I have a reference. My late mother, she always told me, you know what? I'm never scared. I'm not afraid on you, you know. I will leave and I have my mind free, because wherever you go, you will stand up. And that put me on a place that I'm always strong. So the inspiration, it's more a value. I have a value that I'm inspired with, rather than people or or stories or books or change. Definitely, I love to read for Eckhart Tolle. I love Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden. I love all Dolores Cannon, everyone that is talking about the law of attraction, the power of the now. But my inspiration really, because I asked myself many times this question, and it went back to a value that I have in me.
Okay. Um, I want to follow up because of all the transitions you've made. Which one was the most significant? You know, you try it for a role. You've gone through all of these transformations that you've walked us through. If you look back on those, which one would you say was the most tremendous one to propel you to move forward?
The day I decided to write the book and to share it, because the book was written but it was not shared. The moment I decided to write the book and publish it and talk about it, that was the most amazing thing that I have done, and I'm so proud of myself that I did it, and it gave me a lot of satisfaction, and I think, yeah, that's it. And what I'm living now with the when I talk about the book, talk about the method, talk about the director, the life director, I'm so I feel like joy and like grace, sharing everything with passion and with love. I want everyone to know about it. I want everyone to at least get a small insight and apply it a bit in their lives.
Mm. So was that a release when you got all of that out, all of this bottle up energy, bottle up
Yeah.
transformations, and you were able to put it out there? Was that it's out there?
Oh my God. It was, that idea was haunting me.
Oh,
Every time I started, like, I want to do something else, and then boom, 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 and here, the life director, the book, the life director, the book. And then I was, it was not easy, by the way. Emotionally, it was not easy. Every time I was like, I read, when I come to the third chapter, the one where I talk about how I lost my father, and that day it was Valentine, and I had to sing because I was in front of an audience. There were 100 people coming to watch me singing, and then when I removed my black dress and put on the red one, and what did I feel? And that chapter was heavy on my heart, and I said, I cannot write more if I cannot heal that thing. So that chapter took a lot of my energy, a lot of my, I cried a lot. Every time I read it, I cry, and I go back, and then I said, no, I don't want to cry. I want to be
Rejoice.
more.
Yeah.
I want to move on. But it seems that, and this is why in the life director method, I tell them, when you write your story, please, you have to move on, because we are keep on repeating the same chapter over and over and over again, and we're missing out on what can come after that. So what did I learn from all this experience? What did it make in me? Yes, I feel pain, I had grief, I didn't acknowledge it. And what I learned is I need to accept death, and I need to be okay with life and with death.
Mm.
I need to be okay with both of them, because I was not wanting life, I don't want death. So you come to a realization to say, you know what, it's either faith or fear. So, and I choose faith.
Based based on your mother's premonition of what she told you. You know what? In the story you just told, I thought about you just had a death. You had to go perform the black dress to the red dress. So when
Yeah,
that red dress came on, which was the stage dress, I'm assuming, you were a totally different person than what you
exactly.
were. You changed your attire and you came out totally different than what you were before. And now I've got to do what I need to do.
Exactly. Because people, they don't know, especially being an artist or being on stage, anyone, and you have a responsibility towards your audience. So this is what we learn in acting as well. You remove all your personal things outside, and now the minute you put on that dress, I am the singer. I'm
Oh,
singing. Okay,
Yes.
so
Mm.
so now I am the singer. I'm playing the role of the singer, and I dissociated myself from my emotions, and I did it 100% well, and nobody could know that I was going through
Wow.
the grief or the sadness. So I went back home. I put on again my black dress, and there were people, and that's it. So also acting teach you how to be, you know, and we always want to have a responsibility, you know. Someone else would say, I cannot come. No, no, but if you have a responsibility, and if it is a calling also for you, because for me singing also was a calling. When I sing, I heal. And I talk in the book that my voice healed me, because that when I wanted to heal from the journey of cancer and all everything that I was going through, like physically, I thought that crying will be the relief, but actually it was not crying. So I went alone on the beach, and I started like talking to God and tell him, I need to cry, make me cry, make me cry. And then when I surrendered, I started singing, and I was singing like uh, you know, as if there's an orchestra in front of me, the wind, the waves. And when I expressed them all out through my voice, this is the tool that I have, that it's like the gift that each one of us have. Okay, so my gift, my healing tool is my voice. So if I'm happy, I need to sing. If I'm sad, this is how I will release all my emotions, through singing. And yeah, tell me.
No, I'm saying that's amazing. You're talking about sitting out on the beach. I had a situation that I talk about sometime, and I was in Bali, and I was starting a session that was going to take a week, but I got there, a lot of things on my mind. I got up one morning, that Sunday morning, I got up and I went out on the beach at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I stayed there to 4 o'clock. No phone, nothing, no sleep, just thinking and trying
Yeah,
to put it all together as to what I needed to do post Bali. And it
yeah,
was one of the most remarkable. And when I look back on my life, that day enabled me to kind of break away from everything and sit back and really, really reflect for from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, just looking at it, the waves coming in.
wow. Yeah, man, this is what we learn also. Meditation. What is meditation? Is when you surrender and you let the natural state of mind of
Yes.
you giving you the answers and the clarity. Actually, as I said, we don't have answers and solutions for everything, but we have clarity. We're aware of what we are doing, and then things starts flowing, you know. And this is, I'm sure that all of us been through that. When we surrender, we put faith, we align our selves with everything that is around us, then everything will flow and will happen at the right time, in the right place, with the right people.
Yeah. So that takes me to another question. Mentorship. You have been mentored, and I'm sure you're probably mentoring other people as they come up.
Yes.
What role does mentoring play from coming to you, or are you taking it to others?
Mentoring is, I was mentored, yes, and it was an amazing thing. My mentor was my trainer, my trainer in NLP, and what she told me is that uh, you are you are a star. You have to accept that you're not accepting yourself as being, let's say, a star. And she said you have to accept that. So accepting who you are, you don't have to be like ashamed, or because, you know, I don't want to brag about my, she told me it's not bragging, it's showing who you are, and people want you more. So your responsibility is to give back to people what God gave you as a gift.
Mhm.
So work on that. So when I mentor also people, this is what I tell them: show yourself, so show who you are exactly. We want you. It's not like we want you, the world needs us, it needs everyone to be genuine and authentic. And this is how we build a place of everyone accepting each other. There's no tolerance. We're just accepting and celebrating each other. And this is the beauty of creating communities of like-minded people, talking all the time about those awareness, making those small gatherings together and talk from that perspective as a mentoring one-on-one or mentoring a group. So I think the most important thing to tell the people that you are unique and you are worthy. So tell me who you are. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So, have you taken this into corporate? I'm sure you have. Walk us through maybe corporate clients, workshops you're doing, those kinds of things.
Yeah, so for corporate, it's the same concept that is applying when we talk about, let's say, communication and how to build a clear, vision between the employees and and so I always tell them the story. So everything starts with a thinking, and then the vision, and then we come to the production. So everything that you want to do, if you don't have the right skills and the right communication, it will not become a
Yeah.
story, it will not become a show. Okay, so I give them, let's say, uh, random scripts, and each one will start talking, so it's a random thing. But when we write exactly the story that we want to perform, which is a project, which is anything, and define each one's role and what you have to do, then we can take those thinking as we do in theater. We take it, we say, from page to stage, and it will become reality. It will not become random. So I use a lot of techniques and tools from the acting world. I use a lot of demonstrating I do like mini stage hypnosis show to show the power of the subconscious mind, and how much you can you can be reprogrammed. Have you watched a stage hypnosis show? So yeah. So
Reprogram.
in stage
Mm.
Yeah, in stage hypnosis, the first time I watched a stage hypnosis show, it was a comedy in Vegas. I didn't understand how can the hypnotist hypnotize those people to do anything that he's asking them to do, and this is where I started learning more about hypnotherapy, and because I love the stage, so I said, you know what, I will do the hypnosis with the stage. And I studied the diploma. I have a diploma in stage hypnosis show, but more of like just demonstrating the comedy hypnosis show. If I tell someone, now you're a girl, or now you're a dog, whatever, like small things to make them laugh, I told them that when you are in a hypnotic state, you accept every suggestion that I'm giving you. Imagine then in life how many times you accepted suggestions that are not true, that you believe they are true to yourself, and you made them you.
Exactly.
So you want to be aware of who to take those advices from,
Mm.
and this is exactly what happened in life. Your father can hypnotize you, your mother hypnotize you, everyone that has power on you and that you look up to. If they tell you you are like this, then you act as if you are like this, but maybe you're not. So I ask them those kind of questions. Are you Do you truly believe that this is exactly you, or someone else told you to do that? And we are reprogrammed all the time. So
Yeah.
having that awareness, that just asking the question, is it true? And stop. And then accept if I want to do it or I don't want to do it. And this has happened also when what this is very good for, if you want to give them like a career or a job, to understand exactly each people how they are wired, so you can put them in the positions that they can fit, and what skills they need to build on their personal development, on their growth. So it's very important to have an awareness about those things, that like the hypnosis and the hypnotic state and the subconscious mind and the programming. So people can understand how they can move on in their life, having a clear vision and really being true to who they are.
Yeah. This reminded me of a prior guest that we had on, and who rose their career, was the global head of learning and development, or HR, for Volvo. But she
Yeah.
said, coming up in school, her teacher told her, you should concentrate on being a secretary, administrative, or whatever it is, because you don't have it to move. And that was hypnotherapy. She was telling her that, but she said, I rebuffed that. I thought about it and I rebuffed that because I knew I could climb higher. But when you think of that, think of how many kids coming up in school and someone is giving them their script,
Yes.
and they buy into that script, and they become, over a period of
Yes.
time, that person that someone predicted they were going to become.
Yeah, like the parents, our parents, they always do that. You have to be like a doctor like me, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe they don't like it. So the question is, many people, I see lots of clients of mine that they are doing what they told them to do. They are very successful, but they're not happy.
Mhm.
They are
Yeah.
very successful in what they are doing, but inside they are not happy because they don't have a fulfillment. They're from the inside. It's not aligned with what who they really are, although
Yeah.
they are very successful.
Yeah.
And lots of successful people, they miss out sometimes on life, on what makes them happy, what makes them joyful, what makes them free. And for me, success is measured by the freedom, how much freedom you have to
Yeah.
choose what you want to do. This
Yeah.
is success.
Yeah. As you talk through that, I think of so many lawyers that are not lawyering. I know doctors that have moved out of being a
Yeah.
doctor to something else and created other kind of entrepreneur kind of entities based on something else.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that you brought that forward, because you go to school because of, again, hypnotherapy. Someone says you need to, everybody in the family is accountants. You need to become an accountant. Everybody in the
Yeah.
family is lawyers. We want you to do this, and you do that, and you realize this is not getting it, and I need to figure it out. So this is why I love the concept of the life director. So as we begin to close out, I always ask everyone, if you could give advice to your younger self when you were kind of dismayed and did not understand where it was going to end up, what would it be? What advice
I
would you give that younger version of you?
so I will say to my younger version of me, I always believed in you.
Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. So one of the goals of the show is that we always wanted to bring in successful people from across the globe, because in social media today, there's so many disruptions coming through, and visions of people that are being successful, and you think you can get there without going through the trials and tribulations of getting there. But when we bring people on, and what you brought forth today was to say there was a lot of transition, left turns, U-turns, detours, whatever I needed to do, but I was able to figure it out and just keep moving forward. So I wanted to ask you as we close, are there any takeaways that you'd want to leave the audience as to your, being a guest on the show, or any last minute words before we close out?
Yes. I just want to say that based on everything that we talked about, based on my book, based on the life director method, I want to tell them that on the stage of life, be the director of your own story.
Ooh, that is so, so powerful. So, so powerful. And
Thank
the
you.
other thing is that when I do the show from my side, this is a personal thing, I learned so much from
Yeah.
people like yourselves and talking through, because you brought clarity to a lot of things that I've thought about. You're the director. So my way of looking at it is you're the CEO of you. Okay.
Yes.
But the director of the stage, I love that. And so thank you so much for being on the
Thank you
show.
so much.
And I need you to hang on as we close out. So for people that is listening to the show, we need to grow our base. We need you to like, subscribe to our show, spread it around. And on Wednesday, we will do a rebroadcast of this show every Wednesday. So every Friday, it is the CEO series. As we say, it's a leadership masterclass. So with that, I thank everyone for listening in, and we'll see you all next Friday. So thank you. I need you to stay on for a minute as we close out.
Okay.
Take the CEO series with you anywhere, anytime. All episodes are now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and major streaming platforms. It's not just an interview. It's a masterclass in leadership.